again, the holidays are coming, and many of you are going to be traveling with your family or to visit your family, I'm sure. And you might be sitting there thinking, what is the best way to travel with my dog in the car? And I wanted to give you guys quite a few tips on this today so that when you are driving in the car, it just feels really peaceful for you and your dog. So first of all, you want to think, if you have an active dog, it's a really good idea to exercise your dog before that long car ride. You can go on a walk or let your dog run around off the leash or do some, games, fetch, tug, play, let your dog play with another dog, just something to get some of that energy out. And then once you are thinking about leaving, or actually before you think about leaving, you want to think you want probably a good 2 to 3 hours of no food. So you want to feed your dog about 2 to 3 hours before your trip if you can. That'll allow your dog's body to have time to digest the food and be less likely to get sick in the car. And it's a really good idea to have your dog secure so that if there is a car wreck, hopefully there won't be, but if there is, or you have to slam on the brakes, your dog isn't going to, fly through the air and go into the windshield, which would be super heartbreaking, right? They make dog seat belts. They also, obviously, crates will work. A lot of the science that I've seen out there has said the crates are safer than the seat belts. And if you, need to use a seat belt because you can't fit a crate in there or your dog doesn't like a crate, then you probably are better off with using a seat belt. If your dog doesn't like a crate and you have time to train them to like the crate before you go on the trip, you could do that. If you use a seatbelt, you want to get one that, holds the dog securely in the seat. Some of them have a tether where the dog can move around. I actually had a client recently that traveled with her dog, and her dog had guarding issues, and she had a seatbelt that wasn't as secure, and the dog actually guarded food around her children while they were driving, super stressful. So really good idea to have that, tight seatbelt. And if you have kids, teach them to not eat right in front of your dog or right next to the dog in the car. They could have a snack when you take a break and stop to exercise your dog, or for potty, you definitely want to take frequent breaks. You could also, the child that's going to be eating the most because they're younger and they're growing a lot could be the one that sits farthest away from the dog. You could also have the older child, really encourage the dog to do a down while the other kids are eating. So they're less likely to try to grab for the food. You definitely can do training while you're driving as long as your dog can eat treats. If they can't, you could just stick with praise and petting. But if your dog doesn't get sick a lot in the car, then you definitely could reward good behavior, sits and downs, and quietness, or quiet behavior, I should say, is a really good idea. Don't give your dog a treat for whining and doing things you don't like, because you want to reward the stuff that you want to happen more often. And definitely you want to keep your dog calm in the car, so slow petting. You want to do super slow, nice calming petting. Good job. That's awesome. You're doing great. A lot of times we want to pet our dogs like this. Nice job. Yay. That was awesome. That's going to amp your dog up. So nice, slow petting, playing classical music or even meditative music is going to decrease your dog's heart rate, help them be more relaxed. Adaptil is a great tool that you can use. You can Google it. They have it in plugins, collars, and sprays. Probably the collar or the spray will be the easiest to use when you're traveling, but the collar cannot get wet. So if you are thinking you're going to travel in the rain, you probably don't want to get the collar because you are probably going to be frequently stopping for potty breaks and exercise, which again, I recommend that you do. The spray, you would spray on a bandana and then tie it around your dog's neck, and you let it dry for a few minutes before you tie it on because it is alcohol based. But it'll explain all that. It gives off pheromones it's not the actual pheromones, but it mimics the pheromones that a mother would give off to their young in, the dog world. So a lot of dogs smell that, and then you just start relaxing. It's not true for all dogs, but it can be for some, so that can be a really good thing to also use. If your dog doesn't get car sick and you are certain of that, you could also give your dog a food-oriented toy to chew on. That can be really helpful as well, like a Kong, or I probably wouldn't give them too many things that they're going to have to swallow a whole bunch, like pig's ears or stuff where they could get pieces while you're driving. But like a Kong would be really good, and if you freeze it, that could last, a decent amount of time while you're driving, and could really, really help you. I hope these tips have really helped you so that you can just have a really, really peaceful car ride with your dog as you are enjoying your friends and family this holiday season. And if you are, interested in learning more about how we can help you, click on the link, and you can also schedule a free phone chat with us. We can help you no matter where you live, because we do offer live, personalized online dog training. So if you are struggling during the holidays and you're out of state, you are completely far away from us, no worries. Dog training is about coaching you, and that can be done easily through online. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season.